Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Conversation with Within. My name is Nando Araújo. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here today, connected to you guys one more time. I just want to say thank you very much for the new subscribe. I really appreciate your support, and your love to my channel. If you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe it. Don't forget to like this video or any other video that you watch on my channel. I really appreciate it. Today I have a someone very special, Tina Tricoche. She's a
Very
high
good.
level she's a high level channel. She's a quantum healer. She's an intuitive writing. She's a transmitter and much more. Tina, thank you so much for taking the opportunity to spend some time here with us today. Share a little bit a part of your spiritual journey in these incarnations. Thank you so much for being here today, Tina.
Thank you.
I'd just like to start asking you a question. What type of beliefs that you were raised by your parents?
Okay, well, I was originally born in as a Catholic, under the umbrella of my grandmother, who was a devout Catholic until the time of her passing. Early on, I transited into Christianity, and in my early 20s, I went more exploratory, investigating other realms of religious thought, such as Judaism. Shamanism would be the main ones, and metaphysics would be the other, major frequency that I started exploring. So at some point, probably in my late 20s, I became more of a universalist.
That's beautiful. So, so in the beginning, so you kind of was exposed, to many different type of beliefs, right? This was something, the way that I say there's something, that you ask, before coming down to this incarnation to experience, right? In your personal life, different beliefs,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I'm saying now, what I'm seeing here, that's before you come into this incarnation, before incarnating here at this time, you ask to go through those to be exposed, to the new, to different beliefs now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Uh,
I went through the same thing. I was raised as a Catholic. Day after that, my mother, I was 7. Day after that, my mother's father did some metaphysical place in Brazil. And that's when you connected to spirituality. But then after that, when I came to America, I went to Christian, different Christian church, different other beliefs as well. But spirituality is just the only thing that resonates with me 100% now.
yes, I would say that in my previous lives, I've done quite a bit of spiritual paths, strong spiritual leadership. But I've also been involved with war and strategy and sexuality in my former lives. So during this one life, it seems like I've lived out several different lives in one life. And it seems like this life is putting all of those components together. The the high level spirituality, the strategy, the war engagement, the sexuality. So it seems like, and I started out this path very, very, very pure. Like I couldn't even curse, and people would be so baffled by that. They really couldn't believe me when I told them that it was just, I just couldn't do it. Um, and then I went through this metamorphosis where, I would curse whenever I felt like it. It was kind of like, you just like, say, no more of that. I'm breaking free of the chains, and I'm breaking free of the rules, and I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm not going to let anyone tell me what my truth is. And I see now that I had to go through that. I had to break through dogmatic thinking. I had to break through, this. these paths where people become entrenched by their religion, where it prevents them from actually getting to their core. We think it is our core, but sometimes it prevents people from accessing their core because they've already decided what God has to say instead of listening to what God is trying to say. Because at every moment we are evolving, we are in a state of expansion and evolution, and we are transforming into a new world. And so if we cling very heavily to the old consciousness, the old stream of consciousness, old dogmatic thoughts, it prevents us from getting there ourselves. So I see that by allowing myself to break free of all these chains, that it actually enabled me to get to the higher accesses. Not that I condone people should go around and curse, but
Hmm.
I can curse now, and I feel liberated. I don't feel like I have to worry about people's judgments or God's judgment. But the point is that by allowing myself the freedom to just be and not follow old rules, it allowed me to actually end up gaining access to higher streams of consciousness, to higher clearances, because it was required that I had to give trust. Like the fear of condemnation is probably the greatest fear any man can face, especially if they've been on a spiritual path. We
Hmm.
don't want to let God down. We don't want to let love down. We don't want to go to the other camp. We see things as the light and the dark, the good and the bad, and we never want to show loyalty to the other side. So when we are faced with the fear of condemnation, I think that is the greatest fear that any spiritual person can face. And so with me leaving the old path, with me letting go of religious thought and letting go of what people told me I was supposed to believe and breaking free of my chains, I had to give more trust. And when you give more trust, I realize that's how you attain higher trust access. There's
Hmm. I
no other way
agree.
around it.
Yeah, I agree. But may I ask you something? So when you're talking about before cursing, right? So when this happened, when you were little?
No, I would say in my 20s, because I started out a devout Catholic, very pure. Then I
Okay.
turned into a Christian, and I was a Bible thumping Christian. Um, and at that time, I was actually doing miracles, like miraculous things were happening around me. So I was a highly evolved Christian, actually. But
Hmm.
there were just certain things weren't making sense. Like they were talking bad, like the Catholics were going to hell. I was in Oklahoma, and they were talking about people that were involved in shamanism were going to hell. They would be talking bad about the president or his wife during the sermons. Things that were causing me to question, like,
I
who
understand.
who decided this is the truth? Like where is this coming from?
Yeah. Yeah. But I was listening to you about curse, because the metaphysical place that I grew up in Brazil, they should avoid, curse, because, no, it has not to do to religion, but because if it does some people, I do respect people sometimes even do they are connected to spirituality, the curse, even I know some religious people they do the same thing when they talk, the curse say F this or F that, whatever. But the place that I grew up in Brazil, that I used to avoid those things, because the spirituality has different ways to understand it, to explain it as well. And but this type of metaphysical place that I grew up, they used to avoid to curse, because they used to believe, curse, is something used, by dark spirits, It comes from low energies. Even so many people all over the world, for even the ancient people, they used to live here before, the people that live here now, they still, believe the curse, is carrying on some negative energies. I do respect whoever don't believe. I know some people they say the F words, all the time. They are very gifted people. I'm not judging anyone. Me personal, I avoid a lot, especially when I'm work to clients or I'm recording video for my other YouTube channel. I don't curse at all. I don't bring any. any type of F words or any type of words, because I do feel some spirits that come to talk to me, to connect to me in the moment. They are not connected this type of energies. Because what I'm trying to say, everything that we say, and you believe, we connect with the different type of spirits. They are connected the same frequencies that we are connected. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand your perspective. There's two things I would say to that. One is everyone has to own a truth on their journey, okay? And
Yes.
truth is going to validate itself. That's its job. Truth
Yeah.
has a job of validating itself. So what are truths in one frequency may not necessarily be the same truth in other frequencies, and
I'm 100%. Yeah.
everyone's in a certain frequency for certain reasons. It could be for a whole life, it could be for several lives, it could be for just a season. Um, and the only absolute truth is I am. That's it. That's the only absolute truth. There are high level truths that bridge all of us on the planet as one body, which would be like we can call it the law of karma, we can call it law of attraction. Each frequency might give it its own name. The golden rule.
Yeah.
As you do unto others, the energy you give out comes back to you. So there are higher level truths that kind of unite us. But at the end of the day, everyone gets entrenched with a truth that is within their frequency, and so people do want to honor their truth, and to a certain extent, that's exactly what it is they're supposed to do. But one thing I have learned is that there is something that created good and bad, love and hate, and and all these different contrasting emotions and all these different frequencies. There's something that created all of that. And when I started trying to connect with that thing instead, these other things like cursing is bad, or this is bad, or like, because everywhere you go they want to tell you, what you can or cannot do, what's good and what's bad, and you become bound by that when you accept those as your truth. So when I started going higher than that, and I started saying I want to get to what is higher, who is establishing the good and the bad and the love and the hate and the spirituality and the sexuality and the science and the math, like who has done this and why. And when you start getting to that, then things like whether you curse or not, it no longer has power over you. That is what people should try to get to. We need to get to this place where no one's truth, no man's truth has power over you. You understand? Because once you accept something as your governor, then you become, you how do you say, you become subject to that. So if I was still back when I was in the Catholic and I was in the Christian faith, and that was a part of the Satan or the part of the devil and all that, and then if I start cursing, then now I am subject to that condemnation. I have now placed myself under that thing's authority and jurisdiction. So what I did was I took my power back and I was like, no, 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 no. I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that, because something created all of this. And as long as I'm connecting with that thing, then it's higher than love. You understand? It's even
Yeah.
higher than love, so that this other side no longer has power over me. And that was a lesson that I needed to learn for the path that they had for me to take, which tied in everything I did in my other lives and the calling I have in this one, is to understand that there is a power that is higher than love. Something established love and hate and all these other things. Something created this entire solar system and the contrast, and and gave everyone the element of truth that they're supposed to connect with. That great mastermind. And that is the only connection that matters. And when you connect with that, there is absolutely nothing on this planet that has any power over you. Nothing. That is not an easy lesson, and it's almost like going from second. It's almost like a lot of people on the planet right now are like second, third grade level consciousness. When you start understanding that, that's more like college level. It's not easy to get there, but that's the only way I can explain it. So now, because I understand that, There's no church, there's no religion, there's no devil, there's no Satan. There not human trafficking, what they're doing right now, it has no power. Like all the attacks that they have done against me, it has no power, and it's hard for it to understand how it has not managed to put the power over me that has done like 92% of the planet right now, that has enabled it to grow and spread and do all the damage and the concealing of the truth that's it's been doing. But it's because I don't connect with the religion. I don't even connect with love. I connect with the tier that is above that. And that is an authority that human trafficking, the sources behind that, physical and non-physical, they can't contend with that. It's insurmountable to them. They cannot overcome that. There's no truth that it can make people plug into that can override that level of consciousness of what we are. So when I say I'm okay with cursing now, I don't know that I would go to these different churches and start telling spiritual people that they should
No,
now
no,
start
no.
behaving unspiritual. No. If
No, you
you're
don't
meant
go
to be a
anywhere. Yeah.
spiritual person, you
Mm,
should behave like one. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I guess I'm just trying to get to the point where sometimes in order to transform into a different belief system, you got to shake up the one that you're in right now, because we are not all meant to stay on the same path the whole way through. I
Yeah.
guess that's the
But
point I'm trying to make.
yeah, I like the way you explain the things, and I was listening to you. I'm not going to mention anyone's name, but I know so many people, if though very gifted people, even though they are connected with the spirituality, and they like to curse, but s- sometimes when I listen to them now, they act, like, uh, 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 how I'm gonna them see I'm gonna put this, like, they'll say, I don't care, I don't give a shit about anyone, I curse, because I like, they try to prove it's something, but
Right.
you know what I mean. So I think, this is not the right way. You do, like you said, what you are connected, you know what I mean, what you feel, that's the right thing for you, but you don't have to say, I curse because of this. Explain why, you know what I mean. So because, I feel them, you know what I mean, they are kind of, it's something that happened in their lives, you know what I mean? Now they decide to use it there to maybe, to be like different to everybody else. Do something that you feel comfortable. Don't, what I'm trying to say, do not use something that's going to help, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know what I mean, show that you are different to everybody else, or that you are better than everybody else, or you don't give a shit to anybody else. Just use it because you are connected to the thing, nothing more, nothing less. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I see
Yeah.
people not saying, oh no, all those, they start talking about some other people they don't curse, they start talking about other people, you know what I mean? They don't feel comfortable. The way that I feel, they want to change the other people beliefs down. No, if
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what you believe, go ahead and do it. But you don't have to explain or start telling other people, no, you can do the same. This is no, no, no. I just don't agree there. I love the way you explained it yourself.
Thank you. And I completely, I so appreciate the way you're explaining your perspective. It's like in law of attraction, there is this there is this thing that's spreading around that people are supposed to be selfish. And I remember I was in a group a few years ago, and I was trying to explain to them, you got to be careful when things move away from the core. Like even the core of law of attraction is law of attraction. What you give out, the energy you give out comes back to you. So this
Yeah,
new standard that you're supposed to be selfish and not care about what anyone else thinks, you're supposed to think me, 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 me. I say no, no, you got to be careful that there's a difference between selfish and self-full. Self-full says, I got to stop giving so much of I got to stop thinking so much about what someone else thinks and giving so much away of me to appease other people to the point that it hurts me. I have to
yeah,
think of myself. That's selfful. Okay. When you care about your well-being, your wholeness, doing things that make keep you whole, that's selfful. But people walking around saying, I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think, putting the finger up, like, screw you. I'm going to do what's best for me. Like that bad spirit, that's selfish. And so
yeah,
it kind of ties in with what you were explaining about the cursing. it comes back to the spirit that you are operating out of, you know. You people have to be mindful of that. Are you operating from a you know, selfful place, a soulful place, a healthful place? You know, is it one where you're considering the whole of humanity, the co-creative harmony? Or is it one where it's just me, screw you, I'll run over you if if you even think I'm gonna think of you first, you know, like that's not a good spirit. So it's a
No.
matter of we gotta choose love or we don't choose love. We choose to have a good spirit or we choose not to have a good spirit. And
Yeah,
so whether you're
I
cursing or
agree.
not, you know,
I agree with you 100%.
yeah. So I do appreciate what you're saying where people are like, you got to be like me, you know, there's a cursing isn't for everyone. Back when I
No,
was a
because
Catholic and I was a devout Christian, it wasn't right for me. So, you know, if I were to go back in time, I would honor that. I would say, no, you did great. You were great for where you were in your point of time. You did better than great, you know, but when it became time to metamorphose into this new um journey, I had to go through that to break the chains, and therefore I honor that. But it wasn't about me being a bad spirit. It was about me finding a whole new level of wholeness that I was beginning to lose
yeah,
when I was in that world.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
know.
I understand what you're saying with people. They're doing it in a very dishonoring way, and they're trying to make spiritual
Yeah, because
people.
some people, I every single human in this planet is went through something. They're still going through something. They still working on with the self. They still have a lot of things to work on in the next few days, few weeks, few years in their lives. But some people sometimes they talking on you must know some a lot of people as well. When you listen to them and talk, you can see, wow, man, you still have a lot of things to work with yourself. I think, you maybe should have maybe, kind of stop talking to people or talking on YouTube channel or create a workshop because the message that you are putting out there to people, it coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a place that is still like I feel some insecurity, I feel some anger, I feel some controlling. It go on and on because I don't judge the Christian, the Catholic, the Jewish. I don't judge anyone because even though I'm a spiritual person, but I'm a human and I'm not perfect yet. And I don't think this life is gonna be the one that I'm gonna reach out the level that I want. But I wanna like to say one of the spirits that I work with them, wanna work with clients now. That's one of the first things they asked me to say. Tell them that we are not here to change their beliefs, and they tell them that everything that we are going to say to them, we are not telling them they have to do those things in order to something to change in their lives. We are only going to suggest to them. If it resonates with them, that's fine. If not, tell them to release it. That's it. And I just love them because when I talk to people, like I said, if I go live, or if I record video for my other YouTube channel, if you watch all my videos, I have over 500 videos, a bunch of live videos, short videos. You're never gonna see me one time, talking about anyone else beliefs or judge anyone else beliefs as well. And I never say that what I believe is the truth. You know what I mean? I don't have any of those things because I call the earth angels that I had in the past, in this incarnation, they help me to understand so many things. And the spirits, they are connected to me. They talk to me. Do not say to anyone that you are saying to them is the truth. Do not try to change their beliefs. And do not try to force them to believe in the things that you are saying to them. Respect them, respect the free will that each person has. And this is something that I love so much, Tina. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I was listening to you in the beginning, you were exposed, to so many different types of beliefs, but then after that, I said, no, this is what I am connected to right now. But I see the way that you are talking. I know you're going to talk a little bit more, but so far I see the way that you're talking that you're not judging anyone. Even you don't want judge if your own personal or even your parents or anyone else, you just know, I learned it with every single experience that I went through in my life.
Yeah, that I mean, that's the truth. I don't regret. I don't regret anything about my path. I've had an extremely difficult path,
Oh, me too.
but and I've been through a lot of changes just in this one path alone. But because I have this very high level connection, I have an overwhelming peace that most people in my circumstances would not be able to attain. And I do say that with great humility because they have really humbled me in this path. You
Me
know what I mean?
too.
I have really lived a very humble path, but that was the way to get to the higher clearance levels. But I think everything ties into what is the person's purpose in this path. Every frequency has their own truth, and everyone's path is unique. So I totally agree with you. I never try to convince someone that they're supposed to be in a different headspace or a different belief. If it resonates, we will align, and if it
Yeah,
doesn't resonate, then we're going to leave each other's experience, or
that's it.
one or
Yeah.
the other is going to adjust. I mean, that's the only three options. So it aligns or it doesn't align and the two people separate, or one adjusts into alignment. I mean, those are the only three things. But no, I think it's actually beautiful that everyone is on a different frequency um in this great beautiful co-creative space that we are all sharing. And yeah, I agree, you can't there's no way everyone can have the same truth because we all came from different experiences before we incarnated here. Okay, we all have a different purpose here, and we all have a different purpose leaving here because we're just passing through here too. Um, so yeah, so absolutely. And so a lot of the things that are true for me, it's like I feel like I belong everywhere, and at the same time I belong absolutely nowhere. Like it
Yeah.
never really
Yeah.
fits.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, so I give my truth. I try to be as authentic and as transparent as I can. And whatever message someone is meant to resonate, whether it's now or a seed for later, that's wonderful. And if not, that's fine too, because that's just the way the world works.
Let me ask you a question, Tina. So,
Uh-huh.
if I understood correctly, you mentioned before that you remember in this incarnation, you remember some other past lives, right?
Yes.
You do remember, but if do you like to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah. When I was about, I'm going to say five. Okay, it could be
Wow.
six, but when I was about five, I started out as Catholic, and I remember that I had I want to say catechism, the white dress, the white purity dress, where
Mm-hmm.
they have the Catholic ceremony. And I remember I went home afterward, and I was in my bedroom on a two-story house, kneeling in the Catholic prayer position by my window, and I was praying to God. And this high angel, there were several angels that came around me, but the high angel that has been with me ever since, stood over me, and he said, Tina, you've had to leave early several times, but this time we make a promise to you that you're going to be here to be an old woman. And this is a covenant that we are giving to you. And we don't ever want you to forget this covenant. And at that moment, I had this big body breath where I remembered that the life I was at before, I was taken out early. And I said, and when I crossed over, I said, we're going to change this up. Now we're going to go in as a woman because I usually come in as a man. I said,
Hmm.
we're going to come in as a woman. And so when I came in to this body, that spirit came into this body, and I had that body breath, and I remembered that. And that was my first impression of reincarnation because the Catholic faith doesn't teach that. So my first realization of it was after I had this catechism in my bedroom alone when these angels surrounded me, and my head angel said, we're giving you this covenant. This time you're going to be around a long time. You're going to overcome everything, and you're going to live to be an old woman. When I remember that I was taken out the one early before and I came into this one, and And ever since then, when something bad has threatened my physical life, I remember that. I remember that like it was yesterday. And there's this piece comes over me that says, I don't know how, but I know I'm going to overcome this and I'm going to be just fine. And so every time something has happened that's threatened my life, I've that knowing has grown stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So it's kind of like I don't have any fear anymore. I don't have any fear of that. I may have worries over little things, but the big things I don't, because I know that I was taken out early in prior lives, and this time that's not going to happen. So and I do know that usually I'm like a very spiritual person. I know that I came in one time, I was a, I don't know if it was a shaman, medicine woman, but I have this technique that I use with my hands to remove a disease from somebody. And I remember it very distinctly because I can feel the vibration in my hand, that it's still active in my, it's still active in my genome, that ability.
Wow, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. And let's see what else. So I know that I've also done a lot of like general, like I've done a lot of like Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great.
Oh my God.
So
May I ask a question? But you said when you were 5 years old, but did you talk with anyone back then, with your parents or anyone? Hey, I had this vision about my other pet's life. Did you talk with anyone, or you kept it to yourself? No.
no, I kept pretty much, I kept it to myself until probably like my mid-20s, because
Oh,
we were taught in the Catholic and the Christian faith, at least the ones that I was associated with, because I also lived in the Bible Belt for a while, that like things like psychism was evil. It was from
yeah,
Satan and
yeah.
it was
Till
evil.
today, but it's still today, you know. They
I'm
believe
sorry?
till today. Till today, they believe, the Catholic, the Christian, they all believe, spirituality is a evil,
They
evil
still
thing,
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I guess you would say I was kind of like in the closet. When I really came out was when I moved to Florida in, I think it was 2000, and I was walking because I used to love walking at the time, and I was walking in Seminole where I lived, and I crossed this church and it caught my attention. I don't even remember what the sign was outside on the billboard, but I went inside. I was like, they're getting ready to start a service. I walked inside, and the pastor and the I guess the two deacons, if you want to call them that, the leaders that were with her at the front, I said, I'm just curious, what is this church about? And she said, we're a psychic church. I said, what? I was so shocked by that. I'm
No
psychic
way.
church. I was like, are you telling me there's more people like me out here? And she goes, there's a whole world of us, Tina.
Oh my God, this is beautiful.
Yes. And that was when I opened up. I was like, oh my God, there's a whole world of me out that I had no idea. I was clueless about that there were so many people on the planet like me. So that's when I
Wow.
started opening up. Yeah. I would say my mid-20s.
Wow, this is amazing. Yeah, me, like I said, it's something amazing. I remember too today because when my mother used to take me, my brothers, sisters, to a Catholic church, we used to tell my mother, Mama, we don't like it here. We don't feel comfortable here. Why you bring us to here? We don't want to stay here. Always complain about it until one day my mother's friends, invited her to go this metaphysical place. And my mother connected it just like that. And then after that day, she stopped to go to Catholic church. She stopped taking eyes over there. The first time that we went to this place, I remember like today, I said, oh my God, Mama, this is the place now. This is the place we always ask, for you to bring us. Was amazing. It was
That's
amazing.
wonderful.
Yeah, because like I said, who generations after generations, all Catholic, Catholic, Catholic. But like I said, all the four children that she had, and I mean, incarnated here, say, we are not going connected to this anymore, Mama. So, like I said, I was in a very young age, when my mother chose, to change, and it was such a peaceful transition in a spirituality, changing, my life, my brothers, sisters' lives. My father was a very, physical. and abuse, and a verbal abuse of the personal with me, my brothers and sisters, and my mother as well. But look at this, how beautiful it is. He found a different metaphysical place after my mother started going to this one. And then he went through awakening. And then he totally changed his life, my friend. You know what I mean? So then I was able to forgive him in this life. I was able even to love him before he passed as well. My brothers and sisters did the same things, but like I said, through all spirituality, there's something that I always talk with people, I had a class the other day. She's Christian, and she came to me last week. But I said, wow, you are very open. She said, yes, I'm open. That's something I always talk to people. Just be open. I am open as well. Because when you believe only in one thing only, you don't wanna listen about anyone else's beliefs. You don't wanna talk about anything else. I do believe, you know what I mean, that you are just blocking yourself. Because the universe, God, whatever you like to call, they can use different people, even different beliefs on sometimes to help you. Many years ago, with my first wife, I was going through something, I was very stressful situation, and I went to this Christian church, back, in Clearwater, and they there has a place over there before service, they call prayer meeting, You go there, you pray in Portuguese, Chinese, whatever language, aloud, whatever. No one's look at you, no one say nothing. And this lady was in the other side of the room, and she's walking straight to me. And she said, my name is Sue. I have no idea how she knows my name because we never met. She said, she called me Fernando. Fernando, then she gave me a message, She said, you need to leave the house. I mean, this situation with you and this woman is very stressful. If you don't leave, something bad is going to happen to you. It was a long message. I said, how do you know my name? How do you know all these things about me? We never met. I never talked with anyone here about anything else. She said, the Spirit asked me to give this message to you. Eva, I remember I said to her, yeah, but I cannot leave the place, the house I live with her because I cannot afford to pay for myself and for her as well. She said, do not worry about it. God, you're gonna provide, whatever that you need. If you just ask, wait, it will come. Like 1 week after that, a friend of mine, talked to me. She felt that I was going through something, and then she talked to her husband. She's one of my best friends till today. And then I went to live with her in her house for a long time. But I was in a Christian church, the reason I'm sharing this story because, like I said, I was open back then, and I'm still open today. For some reason, got me over there. You know what I mean? For that lady, you know what I mean, give me that message. You know what I mean? Because I was so freaking lost back then. I remember back then I lost like over 30 pounds, like in a month, And people thought I was going to die, that I have something serious. You need to go to the doctor. It's something's going on with you. I said, no, I'm fine. I feel fine. But and anyway, so the point is now, it's so important for us to have an open mind, It does, I believe, the reason why that you are so exposed, to so many beliefs, in this incarnation. The same thing with me. What's the reason?
I agree. Sometimes we things happen, they're meant to happen cross frequency. I can tell you quickly two examples. There One time I lived with this roommate and he was an atheist and he had no knowledge whatsoever about the metaphysical world. It was all something that I don't know how, but it just never crossed his knowledge, even though he lived here in Florida, that this world existed here in Tampa Bay region. And they were getting ready to remove his toes because of gangrene. And he showed me his toes and he showed me how corroded they were. And he goes, I just wanted you to know because I'm going to be, around the house for, a few weeks while this heals. And they're going to do my surgery next week. And I looked at his toes, and then after he left me, I said to my angels, shouldn't we do something about this? I mean, I'm evolved enough, but usually you gotta like, the other person has to be open to it. There has to be an attunement, and people have to like they have to be welcoming of the experience in order for that to happen. Otherwise, there would never be a need for a doctor, you know what I mean? So the angel said to me, what would you like to see happen? I said, I would like there to be this for this to be a miracle and for this surgery to be canceled. So they said, well, your request is granted. It's as you have instructed it, so it will be. And I realized afterward he wasn't presenting a block because he wasn't believing in metaphysics, but he wasn't not believing. He didn't have this
Yeah.
belief that went up like a wall that
Uh-huh.
said, no, I believe this. So when he went in for the pre-op the next week, they couldn't believe that it had completely transformed. It had completely became normal. And they said there is absolutely no rational known explanation for that. All we can say is that is a bona fide miracle. So he came home and they canceled the surgery for the next day. He goes, I can't believe it. He goes, you're not going to believe me either unless I show you. Let me show you my foot. My toes are completely normal like overnight, and they have no known explanation for how that could happen. And I said, well, I know how that happened because I was the one that sent the instruction out because I'm at the level where I can believe in miracles, given certain parameters where I can execute it. And I just happened to receive the clearance for it because he didn't block me. Now that's part of the cross uh frequency, when people cross frequencies to make things happen for each other. Okay, that be an example. Now the other one was this man was a Catholic and his house was haunted, and it was at such a level that it was like moving things in the house. It was leaving marks on his body. Now mind you, I had already left the Catholic faith and I left all those beliefs behind, so that had nothing to do with the world I was in at
Yeah.
the time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but he goes to this church that I was in a board, and the pastor said, well, we will it was, again, it was a metaphysical psychic church. She said the next board meeting I will discuss it with the board how we would intervene on your behalf in this situation. Well, before the board meeting happened, somebody had said something to him that I might be a good person for him to hook up with. And he said, can you help me with a legal problem I'm having? Because I was a legal professional at the time. I went over his home on the basis of the legal professional, but I encountered this thing that suddenly attacked me when I was there, and I call it a new age exorcism because I was no longer a Catholic. I no longer
Mm-hmm.
believe in the power of Satan and devils, and I was in a totally different frequency than him. But I crossed into his frequency, did a belief system transformation in the home, and I removed the power of that entity from off of his body and off of his home. And how did that happen? Because he showed up at that church saying, "I'm open to anything,
Oh,
anything at all that might
I,
help
I,
me."
I wish,
Okay,
I wish you'd be close to me here. I got goosebumps all over my body, my friend. This is beautiful. Go ahead, go ahead.
but that's another example of cross frequency jumping. Okay, how
Yeah,
I was able to
yeah,
help him based on my frequency, but I had to meet him at his in order to make it happen, and
yeah.
he had to be open to it. So
Yeah,
and he was. So
but see, this is I still have it, all of my body coming, but I believe this 100%. That's exactly I was talking to you before. There's something I suggest to people. Please be open because when you open, like I said, God got this person to you. This person believes or has nothing to do with your beliefs. Or this person believes or believe that the things that you do is evil thing. But why God make him to go to you, even the other person as well, to say, show you nothing is evil, my friend.
you reminded me, that's true, that the Catholics would have been teaching him that me and the church I
Yeah,
was in at the time, that we were an evil source, that we were serving evil. But we
yeah,
were the source that God sent to show, no, love is love. It doesn't, you can go in the sex industry and you can find light workers there. And this baffles spiritual
yeah,
people, the concept of it. But no, you
yeah,
could go into the sex industry and you can find very powerful light workers, very powerful sources of love, very powerful sources of healing. They're everywhere. I don't care. You can find them in the sciences. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can
they can
find them
find
in the ghetto. You know, I mean,
this.
no matter where.
I agree with you 100%, my friend, because some people, say, oh, I need to be. I have a friend of mine. I haven't seen her for a long time, but she's Christian. She go to church anyway, but she was how much how many I think she was married for like for 5 times, like that. But one of those her husband was the church she used to go was the pastor's son. She thought that I mean was the right match. I mean the kid was born and raised inside the church, all these things. Make a long story short now. They got involved, they start talking, start dating, you know what I mean? They fell in love with each other, they got married, 1 year after, 1 year after, I mean, his dark side, I mean, came to fruition. Oh my God. She said he was the devil. You know what I mean? She said, I couldn't believe, he was born and raised in church, you know what I mean? But what you said is so true because you can go maybe to a bar, even what am I going to say? People, whoever is being listened, there's, I don't ask anyone to believe or not. If you can go to a stripper club now, and maybe you'll find an angel inside there. You know what I mean? It, for real,
Right.
because some people go to places not because they like. A lot of people sometimes go to places because they are working in their place. They are
Yes.
working the place with the people that they don't tell anyone anything. Just go there, just walk around, just sit around. The way they are showing me here right now, this is beautiful. I never talked to anyone about this before, but the way they are showing me here right now, this type of people, they do this, they go in those places their frequency they carry now is so higher, so stronger. They radiate everywhere to
Yes.
everyone. And then after that, they just leave they go away. And then after that, some people start being tortured on you because each person has a journey. Each person they are work in a stripper club, or work at the bar, they are drinking or they are killing, whatever it is. They are part of the journey. They ask to go through those experience in this incarnation. You know what I mean? But like I said, yeah, like what you said before is so true. No, your frequency, you know what I mean, because you are not judgmental, you are not condemning anyone's beliefs. No, it then the universe, God, guide those people to you. It happened with me before. The first, I had a client this is more than 15 years ago. We're still friends still today. She's gonna come to talk on my YouTube channel, and I invited her. But when she came to me, I used to have an office on 66th Street in Lago, and she's a Christian. She was going through a divorce, and she was praying for God. And she was very lost. In my website, pop in her computer, and she said. God, why this guy website popping here? What this guy do? It's an evil thing, But she said that she heard God's voice and no, go see him. Call him and make an appointment to him. Go have a session with him. So she called, make an appointment to me for Reiki, for a reading session. Make a long story short. Then after that, what I channel for her, the message that I channeled, was exactly what she needed on me. But that day, what happened to her? She's still Christian to today, but she opened her mind. She stopped judging people. Judging, I mean, not only judging people, but stopped judging other people's beliefs. She
That's
said,
beautiful.
I never thought I was gonna come to someone like you in my life, and you're gonna be the person I mean to help me. You know what I mean? To be able to find peace, you know what I mean? To find forgiveness. I don't know. It was a bunch of things. But it happened before a few times as well. The same thing happened to you. It happened to me. I think it was, I don't know the last time they happened, you know what I mean? So, but was this lady, she came for 2 hour session. She lives in another state, I don't remember what state. And she come to Florida once a month. But she was asking for guidance as well. Once again, she found my website. She felt very strong guided to come to talk to me. She called her husband, talked to him, said, go see him. And then she told him, I'm Catholic. But I was guided to come to you. I said, wow, but what Catholic people believes on, they believe that what I do is an evil thing. She said, yes, but she said, I was so strong guided. I mean, that's the reason I'm here today. Make a long story short, so after 2 hours, it was amazing things happening like that day in our life.
So what they
That,
did was they both these examples that you gave, they did courage, they chose courage on their side. They
yeah, yeah,
faced the fear, So I'm proud of both of them because that's what a lot of people have to do. They have to confront this fear that they have inside, in order to get to bigger and greater things. And that's the case for all of us, my friend.
yeah.
It's like me when I was transitioning out of Christianity into my journey into the universal. I ran across a shaman, and I was always taught that that was a very evil religion. But this woman, like, she was one of the greatest influences of my entire life. She put me through this shamanic soul retrieval journey where I encountered my spirit animal that has been with me all the way till today, very significant. But she was able to tell what was in my dreams, like what was in my mind. But I had to face that fear, that fear of, I'm choosing the wrong camp, that fear of condemnation, that fear I'm going to be, I had to overcome that. And by doing that, this woman was one of the greatest healers, and she also helped me to become one of the greatest healers in just that 1 2 hour session that I had with her back then. That's all it took. So yeah, I completely the kudos to those that break the chains of old beliefs that are no longer serving them or fully serving them, and choosing to overcome their fears and recognizing that when love or light is speaking and guiding them, honoring by listening to that higher voice. So that is a beautiful thing because you clearly exude a very powerful light energy. And a lot of times people are listening to thought when they really need to listen to what they're feeling, the vibration. And so the two examples that you gave is them doing that exactly, which is beautiful.
Yeah, if like let me see, 6 weeks ago, I started on teaching a yoga class.
Uh-huh.
I'm a yoga teacher for a long time, but I never always like to work to clients one-on-one. But I met someone that she came to have a massage session with me. I was talking to her. But she owned a yoga studio. She was looking for someone. Make long story short, so I went there to talk to her, and I talked to her husband. They're very young. They're very open-minded, but they allowed me to do, you know, the way I like things. I mean, to create something, new. But I make long story short, the people that are coming to my class, what I mean, I tell them, you came here for a reason. Because they have different beliefs. I'll tell them in the beginning, I'm not here to change anyone's beliefs, and I'm not here to try to make anyone believes in the things that I'm going to channel during the class. Because I tell them in the beginning, are you going to start saying some things that are come from the spirit or come from the universe? But I tell them, if it resonate with you, that's fine. If not, just release them. But it's so amazing, there are so many times different people come to me, people start crying or things like that, and they do have different beliefs now. But even they say, I was drawn to come to your class. I was guided to come to your class. Even though, that things that are read, the information about your class, the things that you do, Reiki, so other things, has not to do to my beliefs now. But I was so strong guided to come here, and I'm glad that I came. This is now what I'm trying to say, Tina. That's so important, for us, to never try to make anyone's believe, not like we talked before, believe in what you are doing or say, or workshops, anything like that. You just go there, talking about your things, talking about whatever it is, you let them make their own decisions, if those things going to resonate with them or not. What I'm trying to say, just open yourself like I open myself as a vessel, and allowed the Spirit to use me, to work through me. like you did for the person that has the he was gonna amputate his toes or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So was the same thing. You just allowed those energies coming through you, and then he was totally healed.
And
You know,
I do want to mention on that too, because some people are advancing in their healing capabilities. That we do have to remember that everyone's on their own unique, distinct journey, and
yes,
we're
yeah.
not always meant to go around, changing it up. What's going on.
No,
It's important to go to our core center and ask for the wisdom and the clarity before we start manipulating people's life force, and their path. And then so I just want to emphasize that because I didn't just automatically intervene at that level. I sought the wisdom and counsel inside before I did it. And that's kind of important because he wasn't on my frequency. So I did want to put that out there.
no, no. I like that you explain. Thank you for saying that. But may I ask? I know you do so many things, Tina. One of those things that you But one of those things that you do this a high level channel. That's exactly what you're just talking about. So you are capable now to connect now with what exactly with the angels, so light beings, right?
Yes,
When you
yes. I've been working with the angelic realm again since that catechism day at the age of reason. I guess was I would say about 5. And so the way it started out was I never really went inward. I never really connected with them unless there was like something major happening that I was forced to, which is the case for a lot of people that are not on a spiritual path. They wait till something bad happens or they're desperate, and then they want to connect. But somewhere along the way, especially when I became more of a when I started connecting all the different frequencies and understanding how they were the same, how they were different, when I started exploring that, um, I started communicating more on a regular basis, more like like a friend, like these are my counselors, these are my guards, like, you start realizing, and then the more I did that, the more they started sending me more angelic teams. And before I knew it, I was in charge over many angelic teams. But that was built over time with me establishing communication and respect and understanding that I have a role that I'm called to play as a human, and they have a role they're called to play as an angel, and in the different dimensions, everyone is called to play a certain role. And if we can all respect each other and harmonize the different dimensionalities of, we'll say Tina, okay, then when we can get to that place, then we can move mountains. And you can't, none of us can get to the moving mountains until we recognize that we are all existing in a different dimension, in a different capacity, um with a different purpose, and that we can all at any time we can connect all of it together, and that's what creates the great creative force when you connect the different dimensionalities together of what you are, of what you're connected with. So, and there's no shortcut to it. There's no fast track to it. You have to, just like someone that's getting ready for a marathon, you have to, you work out, you take care of your body, you eat well, you may jog, you may lift weights, I don't, what I'm saying? Like, it's just like and I'm not saying it's hard work, but I'm saying it's consistency. It's like you have to change your proclivity, you have to change your mindset, you have to understand when your door should be open and when your door should be shut. You have to understand that you can't let outside forces control you, and that you are responsible to respect them and their counsel and the role that they're called to play in their dimension without you trying to manipulate that in the same way that you wouldn't want them manipulating you. So, and these are things that take time to develop. And I didn't start in this life. I started that in previous lives. I just continued on with it and expanded it in this life. But yeah, but now I very confidently call myself a high level channel because it's kind of like talking about the more you give trust, the more trust access you get. So if you're in the
Mhm.
military, you will get a most don't have a secret clearance. Some will get, I don't know, some, many, I don't know. There's a sizable number of people that will get a secret clearance job. Then there's a little, then the number gets smaller and smaller and smaller the higher up. Then there's top secret clearance. Then there's like a specialized top secret clearance. And before you know it, like the highest level secret clearance, there may be only like 5 people, if that many, in any nation. that would have attained the highest clearance level. And it's the same with us. When you, the higher up in the trust axis you get, the less humans you will see in it. And not only humans, but the less angels you'll see in it, the less entities you'll see in it. The same way as you see mimicking throughout the militaries, you will see less and less and less, and people have the higher clearance levels. Now, when you get those clearance levels, there's more responsibility, there's more accountability, there's more attacks, because you obviously, we're all subject to the law of karma. So we take our power very cautiously, the power that they have given us, the special permissions that we have been given, the knowledge that we have been given, the accesses that we have been given. We take that very seriously um because we're accountable to that, because we are subject to the law of the karmic responsibilities are associated with that. So that's kind of where I'm at, where eventually over time they gave me many different angelic teams with different specializations. And so over time I've saturated the Tampa Bay region with it. And so we're seeing a lot more of the manifestations now as the new planetary government is now becoming an intricate part of the new world that is unraveling before our eyes, because people like you and I have been ushering in this new world. But we have this new planetary government that consists quite extensively of the angelic realm that we have. Up until now, it's been more like in the imaginary zone. Only certain religions, or pretty much all the religions have mentioned them, but they've been only in the imaginary zone. And so now they're more down into the reality zone, and we are now bridging up more and more into their zone. So these are very exciting times for us, my friend. Very exciting times, and I'm glad that I have a leadership role in making that happen. And my group circle at Tampa Bay consists of metaphysical people of different specializations, and many of them have certain level clearances. And these are people that are they're making miracles happen. They're making transformations happen. They are literally moving mountains. And many of them are, it's like you were talking about, that those people that may show up in the sex industry, they show up there for whatever reason, they show up, and they're just bringing in this great powerful light in. They're bringing in this great healing energy in, whether
Yeah.
they're aware of it or not. And it's the same with these people that are hiding among the common people here, that have high clearance levels and are moving mountains, but they're blending in, and most people don't even know that Mr. Joe Smith over here, you know, is quite remarkable
Yeah.
in his influence and impact on Earth's events at this time. So yeah, it's pretty interesting what's happening.
Yeah. Let me say something to you because I'm listening to you, but someone asked me a question. The reason I'm saying this, when I normally when I talk to people that I'm recording something for my channel, sometimes I hear a question, but the question doesn't come from the spirit. This question coming from someone they are going to listen while we are talking here. The question is, do you have any specific preparation or special preparation or you do something to keep you connected with the frequency that you are connected right now, or you just live, like, la vida louca every day, crazy life, you go to bars, you drink or to this, or you have some type of life, what I mean, that you live every single day, like, a ritual that you do in the morning. It's something, you have something that you need to do every day that you wake up in the morning to keep you connected to this frequency that you are connected right now, or you just do whatever that you want to do, that's fine. You still connect to the frequency anyway.
Well, that is really an excellent question, and I'm glad you asked it. When my first metaphysical teacher said to me, Tina, don't learn to rely on tools, because if you learn to rely on a tool, such as tarot, for example, or a pendulum, you will always have to depend on it. So she said, you're ready to give readings to the church. I'm just going to put you out there. I was put out there before I even knew I was ready, and I was very nervous, and I told my angels, you know, don't make a fool out of me, because this is my this is my moment where I'm really going to rely on you more than ever, that I'm going to know how to answer these people, because it's always just been me and my inner world, and suddenly I'm put out amongst this crowd of people, and I'm supposed to know how to give readings. Okay. So from that, I learned that I can just do it. And by the way, I did it with flying colors. But I learned that I never need a tool. That being said, the tool I over time I have developed intuitive writing. I started out with automatic writing, just automatically letting the messages download, like if you're downloading information from the cloud to your computer, very similar to that, right? And all of a sudden that information is now sitting on your computer. So I would let the information download through me through my hands, and I would just let it flow on the paper, and then I would try to figure out afterward. So even if it didn't make sense, I didn't care. Just write down whatever it is I got and figure it out later. So with time, I developed a craft with that. I developed an art with that, and then from that, I developed into scribing, and and basically from that, I prefer to communicate with the angelic realm and I don't like doing mediumship a whole lot, but I am a medium, and sometimes they open up those doors, and I have to play that role. But my main thing is writing because I've developed so many different techniques from it, and now I feel like I feel like I would not be complete without it. Like I always have to have a pad with me and a pen with me, you know. And sometimes information just flows in sense and like it won't stop flowing. I'll be before I know it, I've written 20 pages worth of stuff. And then sometimes all I'm doing is just rereading stuff I previously wrote and maybe getting a different meaning out of it, or maybe concentrating it. Repetition, there's a lot to be said about repetition. My son was ADHD. He had a learning disability. I finally had to take him out and homeschool him, and I learned one of the greatest techniques to use with him was repetition. You go back 2 days later and repeat the lessons we did 2 3 days earlier, and the more we did that, then it would become entrenched, and he would get it, and he would understand it, and he would remember it. So in the same way, I would go back and reread old stuff I had written, whether it was the same message or a different, and it would get more power and more power and more power, and the channel gets, it's kind of like digging. If you're an archaeologist and you dig and you dig and you dig and you dig, eventually you're going to come into some artifacts. People be like, why are you wasting your time with that? You can't say that to a true archaeologist, because he knows eventually he's going to find the treasure. Why? Because he's done it more than once. He has found the treasure, and it made all those months of digging worth it to him. So it's the same with me with the writing. And so with the writing, they can communicate directly with me. I can communicate directly with them. But again, I don't need it because I learned to communicate with my inner world with no tool at all. And at the end of the day, thoughts are tools. Believe it or not. A thought, like in the same way that us humans are using tarot or a pendulum or sage, thoughts are tools that higher realms are using. We don't need the thoughts to connect with and communicate with the upper worlds. We don't need them. Sometimes they actually get in the way. They obstruct. Those people that found you, they were not really relying on thought. Maybe a little bit because we're used to using our thought, but they were relying on that inner knowing. They were relying on the vibration of the light that you were exuding. That existed
Yes.
outside of the thought. So I don't need the writing, but I always highly emphasize it because it has taken me through worlds I don't think I would have gotten without it. It has enabled them to communicate with me in ways that they would not have been able to, due to the fact that we have our filters in our brain. We get stuck with our belief system. So by writing things out and using the paper and the pad, then they are able to find other ways to get a message out to me. So if I write something thinking that it means this today, I can go back 2 weeks later and look at the same thing and see, oh, that's what you were meaning for that to mean.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I highly is it is one of my highest crafts. It's one thing that I'm extremely gifted in, that I devoted a lifetime in developing. And it would be like, if anyone invested in me to learn that, it would be like a life transforming art to learn. So Yeah, that's what I would say. That would be like the greatest thing I could teach people would be intuitive writing, scribing, channeling through writing, channeling through reading, AI art. I specialize in that now too. I will combine the scribing, the automatic writing, the artwork, to get some really. It's not just messages I give. I'm not like a psychic hotline. I'm more about transforming people. I'm about transforming their consciousness, putting them on higher stream levels. That's what I'm about. I'm not about, hey, call me once a week and I'll give you a reading. That's not me. I got to send you somewhere else. If they come to me looking for that, I'm like, you got me all wrong. I can do it one time, but then I'm going to have to refer you to somebody else. I know a lot of people that's what they're called to do, but I'm more about shifting people into a higher vibration, giving them greater clarity, connecting them with the angelic realm, connecting them with their spiritual team that's with them to help them to navigate this life and to help to bring transformations occur in this life. So I'm more about the heavier work, the deeper work, and about teaching people to get there on their own. We always need, along the way, we are meant to network and plug into each other. So we, at some level or capacity, there's always going to be a reason that someone is going to need someone else. That's just the way we were designed. But we need to stop relying less on the medical system. We need to stop relying less on, I'm going to call my psychic once a week. You know what I mean? And we need to start finding those connections within our solar plexus to the inner world. So
Yeah,
I'm more about that.
yeah, no, I agree with you. But I was listening to you, yeah, along, I don't know, for last year, I think, I don't remember how many months ago, but I was last year, someone called me and she said, I need to have a session with you because I want my ex-boyfriend back. And then I said, I cannot help my friend because if you want to have a session with me, I'm not gonna do anything to bring, your ex back. The things I'm gonna channel is to help you to understand why he's not in your life anymore. I said, no, I don't want to hear that. I just want to. But anyway, so I said, no, I cannot help my friend. You know what I mean? But normally, everyone's that come to me, it come now because they need something. They has for me, no, when I say for someone's come to me have a session with me, they need to have, I'm not saying 100% open mind, but you need to be has something 10% or 20% or 30% open mind, because when I talk to them, I said we are when I say we, because it's the spirit of my spiritual team. They're here with me. The spiritual team, they come to help us as well. But we say to them, we are not going to say what you want to hear. You are only going to suggest some things for you to understand what's going on, to understand about energies, to help you to raise up your frequency. So this way your life start changing. But make a long story short, now it's so beautiful now when you are open. Well, there is a now I understand they are talking to me now because when we ask for help, for something that we are going through in our lives, we ask God, the universe, or angels, whatever it is, where I need help over here, I need guidance, I need some assistance in these things that are going on in my life right now that I'm facing. They are going to help us. So, but we need to be open to listen to them. You need to be open on it because if you just want to ask for help, but we don't want to do anything, like, every day I do something. I have a routine. I wake up, 4 o'clock in the morning, 7 days a week. I like to do my meditation, my yoga, all the things, you know what I mean? If so many other people like you has your own things that you do every day, so many people has their own things they do every day. But when you ask for help, you need to be open. Someone cannot come to you. They want you to help them if they're not open. Listen, I want you. They're gonna tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The reason that we asked to talk about this is because the people need to understand when you ask for help, my friend, they can be for anyone. You can. you maybe like we talked before, maybe the universe is gonna guide you to a Christian church or whatever it is, to a Buddha temple. You need to go there, you know what I mean? It just be open to listen what they're going to say to you. Just go there telling your story, you say, I want to hear only the things that are created in my mind, nothing else, nothing more. Are you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here. I was wondering if
It,
I lost you.
no, 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 no. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's so important. I mean, so because yeah, the energy that you are connected right now, Tina, is so beautiful, my God. It's so beautiful now. Maybe someone, I don't know, someone is going to listen this conversation, what I mean, maybe gonna reach out to you. But yeah, my friend, she can help you. She's so very gifted. But you need to go with the open heart, with the open hands, to be
Yes.
able, what I mean, to receive what she's going to give to you, to listen what she's going to say to you.
Yeah, I want to see, because there's a lot more and more and more and more. There are people like me where we don't fit perfectly anywhere. We just don't fit perfectly anywhere.
No, I,
So
I, fa- I face the
it's more than
same.
never people have to have an open mind, and they don't have to accept everything that someone's saying,
No,
but there
no,
could be
no.
that one thing that
Yeah,
can totally change their life or set them free or put them on a higher tier, or that one message that their angelic realm or their spirit team has been trying so hard to get through to them, and just they
yeah.
they they can't get through, and so they pick this person over here as the means to get that message through. So yeah, it's really important that we all honor the light that's in each other. My higher light honors the light that is in you, and if you have to shake hands with your shadow every now and then, because we are in this pool of contrast, and unfortunately, it's a part of our process, at least right now. So that's another thing we all have to learn to do graciously and with humility every once in a while. Shake hands with your shadow, but the main thing is to say, I honor the highlight in me honors the light in you. And if we can just take a pause and say that, it will enable us to open up to what the other person's trying to show us or say, even if it's just that one little thing in the midst of it all. Then it's all worth it. We just, because like I said, people like me, we're multiplying where we just don't fit in anywhere because we are something that's new. We're a new story, bringing in a new story. We're dealing with different powers. We're creating the new world. So we have to leave the old world behind in order to make that happen. So yeah, it's really important that we are open to what the highlight is trying to tell us. And you gave that good example where, because I remember when I was really young and I wanted someone to fix my problem. Bring this person back. Why won't this person love me? Things
Yeah.
like that. And it's a hard lesson to learn that those are not the right things to be asking for. It's not, but it's a process to learn what questions you should be asking for. What are the questions that liberate you? That is a lesson in itself. So I'm glad you brought that up. You brought back a memory of way back when I would ask, the cosmos, why won't you bring this person back? Why won't this person love me? I thought this person would love me,
Me too,
you
me
know.
too. I went through those things as well. But it's so, it was a reason why we start talking about those things, my friend. But because, I had a session with a client here last week, and I told her, oh my God, I had many, many sessions. All my sessions is always beautiful, is always special to me. But I said to her, I need to say something to you, my friend. This session, it's my favorite because, she was open 100%, the things because she was so open, see, I wanna to change, what I mean, her life. The the message that was coming to me so many different spirits, was so powerful, some things that I never ever said to anyone before. And I was saying to her, my God, this is so powerful, this is so beautiful. And she said, yes, yes, he's amazing. But my point is, she was so open, not for one moment, no. she showed any resistance to anything at all. If I talked to her in the beginning, be careful with the ego. The ego can pop it in and try to stop you, distracting you. But she came with such an open mind, such a determination in her life to change her life, all the things that are channeled, all the messages, it resonated with her 100%. It was a life change for her. I experienced this in my life before, with some people that came to my life to help me, that I want to talk to them. I felt that I need to open myself, it just listen, it just listen. I did that many, many times, and it was a life change for me because when you ask for help, but we are constantly say, "Oh, this is too hard for me to do. Oh, I don't think I can do this. Oh, I don't think I forgive that person." I see people say, but I've just listened to them, and then I talk about something else because that's the resistance they have. What I suggest for people it is when you ask for help, my friend, open yourself and let go any resistance that you have in your life. You want your life to change, let go any resistance. It just listen, what the spirit was saying to you. You know what I mean? Because that's what I did in the past. But unfortunately, before I was with so much resistance in my life, one thing that I went through so much suffering, and I was blaming so many people before. But in the reality, there was no one to blame. In the reality, I was just need to learn how to let go resistance. And then when I let go resistance, I stopped suffering. I still going through some lessons, but the lessons come in the different way for me, not the way that it used to come before. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that's um that's a hard one for a lot of people right now. Listening and letting go of resistance.
Oh, it's too
Yeah,
hard, my friend.
it's hard for a lot of people. It's a skill you have to develop. Especially people have been losing with the growth of technology. People are losing their listening abilities, and so it takes more work now to have listening skills than it did when I was a child. And with that, the release of resistance, and people have a hard time releasing resistance because they want to hold on to their beliefs, and they don't want to question why do I have this belief? Where did I get it? And why do I have it? And the more people start asking that, it will help them to release resistance because they'll start realizing, oh, I adopted this from, let's say, my parents, or I adopted this from my church, and I just accepted all of this blindly, never questioned it. Well, what if I just release resistance and trust that love and the high light has me secure, and it's going to guide me in the right way? And if it leads me back to that, great. And if it leads me to a higher truth, an expanded truth, a new truth, great. But people have to be willing to question, why do they have the belief that they have, in order to get to the place of releasing resistance. So yeah, and I think more metaphysical people, Nando, have to give that message out, that what you're saying, let in order to have your questions answered from the cosmos, you do have to release resistance. That's a very important part of that process. You have to stop demanding that God answer the way you think he's supposed to, or the way you want him to. You have to respect God, and I use that, and that's not my favorite word to use, but I will use it. Um, we want God to always answer us, but sometimes God needs for us to answer it, you
Yeah.
know?
No,
So
I agree. I agree with you because that's when my life start changing. Even today, because I asked for help, for some things that I'm going through. But yeah, then they talk to me. Yeah, this is what you need to do. It's not like we are going to ask for help. You know what I mean? Help come, oh yeah, good. And then you keep doing the same thing again. No, we need to change now. We need to let it go. Resistance now. It's some they don't they don't say that we have to do it. When we try to say they suggest things to us. Listen, these are the things that we suggest for you to do in your life. to change, my friend, because for you to change energies, your energies, your frequency, you cannot continue to live the life that you live, doing the things that you're doing. It's okay. We need to do the inner work, and listen on the things that are guiding our eyes to do, like you said, to listen is not an easy thing. Before, for me to listen to someone, oh my God, forget it. You start talking to me, I was no. As soon that I felt something, I was was triggered something on me. I was opening my mouth
Yeah,
and
and we
that
also have to remember, Nando, that it's not our place to fix people. We have a role that we're called to play in people's lives, and it may or may not be exactly the way we're thinking.
yeah,
But it's like, with me, from my family line, it's divided from very, very, very wealthy to very, very, very poor. This is my family line, my bloodline. Okay, so my ancestor, Valentine Tricoche, he established a humanitarian hospital in Puerto Rico. He established a water gravity based system that is now historic. And at the time, it was rather remarkable and revolutionary. He was known for being a wealthy landowner and a very powerful humanitarian. And money was by far, he was among the wealthiest of the wealthy at his time. But a lot of my other bloodline is like very poor. And during this life, I've had these extremes, where I've had like absolutely living off of nothing, living just off of faith, and then having money just flowing out of nowhere, like the last thing I got to worry about is money. And I remember I was talking with someone a few days ago about how last year I was just rolling in money and I bought myself land that has a river running through it. And, I was shopping and everything else, and everything was like, didn't have a worry in the world. And then since last February, I've been existing like on like $10 a week, making it happen because I've learned a long time ago how to exist on faith and thrive no matter what the circumstances, because I stepped out of capitalism thought. And so, I've learned how to, like, when I'm in feast, to plan ahead and get things in bulk. And so since this last year, I've been probably the happiest I've ever been in my life. Yet I've been existing on $10 a week, and the cosmos has been taking care. They've been providing for me here and there, and there's all these other things. And so I have no complaint because I know that I'm a millionaire. I already know I'm a millionaire. I mean, my only question is it going to manifest during this life, or is it going to be like something I walk into on the next? That's my only question. That's the only thing they won't give me a clear answer on. But I'm already in that vibe. So, but I was talking with someone about living on 10 cent, like $10 a week, and he was trying to fix me. He's trying to fix me, but that's the thing. I would not have been able to develop the level of faith that I have and my ability to manifest at the level I had it not been that I was put in this circumstance where I had no choice but to. And so sometimes we have to remember that just because someone's life doesn't look perfect, or the standard that we think every American life should be, doesn't mean they're not exactly where they're supposed to be, and it doesn't mean that they are not on a high vibe or that they're not developed. It doesn't mean that at all. And we have to push past that illusion and make sure that we ourselves are asking the cosmos, what is my role? Because I really don't want to cross my boundaries, because that person's path is a sacred path. And
yes,
maybe we're called to transform them out, transist them out. Maybe that is my role. Maybe my role is a huge role, but please make sure I have the clarity so that I don't cross boundaries that I shouldn't be crossing, and respect that sacred path that this person is on for whatever reason this person is on it. And we just have to always remember that because everybody wants to fix other people. If it doesn't look perfect, let me fix you. And we have to remember that that's not always the role we're called to play. Sometimes the role you're called to play, it could just be one message. It could be you're meant to give the person food, or you're meant to give the person a hug, or maybe you're meant to impart a spiritual gift, but it's not to fix someone's life and make their life all of a sudden, if you would just do everything I say, your life would be perfect. We have to remember that that's not who we're called to be in other people's lives. We can only master our own life. That's all we can do.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you because before I thought I could have saved everyone. Before I thought I could have fixed everyone. I was begging people. let me fix it. It is a lot in there. No, I cannot fix anyone, but I do believe, that whatever that you are going through, even the things that I'm going through, is part of, of a journey, and I do believe it has a reason, but I do believe when you show no resistance in time, things will come to us. But when I'm trying to say, don't fight against it, and what I
Hmm.
mean, so say, hey, there's a reason. I'm where that I live my life right now, whatever's happening to me today or yesterday, or whatever's going to happen with me tomorrow. I'm trying to just don't panic or worry too much. It just, what? Let me see what message, this situation has for me, what I can learn from it. But I'm just working because to be in the, I mean, okay, this is the word, to be in the present. To be in the present, I mean, it just to wait to see what's gonna come from whatever that I'm facing. Instead to just to try to fix, instead to try to change or to control the outcome. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, and I've been facing some challenges. Like, this is something like, 2 weeks ago. I had a class that is not my class, not at the yoga studio, it's someone's class, but I don't know what happened. She wasn't able to go there. But it has to do with the things that I like to do, Reiki, Reiki circle, these things. So I signed up to do the class, but I did a little bit different the whole. I brought my massage table, a bunch candles, a bunch of stuff. I did something different, but it's only two people sign up for the. I saw when I saw the first time, only two people was sign up for the class. I think it was I think there was a 20 space opening for people to sign up now. But anyway, so I was going to talk with the manager now. He said, did you send email to everyone, say that I'm teaching the class? Did you talk to everyone? Because only two people sign up. So I had all these things. I was gonna go there, talk to him. So you gotta do something, man. More people gotta show up. No, only two people. But then I felt this is so strong. Don't do nothing. Just let it go. Just let it go. But anyway, I heard a voice say, just let it go. Don't do not let it go. So I said, okay, I'm gonna let it go. I'm not gonna do anything. But make long story short, I went there for the day, the class. Anyway, so 14 people show up that day, So 12 more people sign up, in the next, like an hour or 2 hours before the class, Was more than 14 people that show up in the class. It was amazing, people was crying, it was beautiful. But I think, I say, wow, man, it is amazing. Like we just talked a few moments ago, sometimes, you see something, it's a reason why. Okay, so I'm gonna trust, and there's something good's gonna come out for this. I'm gonna let it go, any type of control or resistance or whatever it is. It just that's exactly what I did, I couldn't believe, when I was there, people one after another start walking by the door, boom, boom, one after another, and the room was filled with people. It just like I said, sometimes we are facing something. Sometimes we even panic. Oh my, like few months ago, I looked at my bank account, the money that I had. It was 2 weeks for the end of the month, and I said, "Oh my God, I had to pay this, I had to pay that." And I once again said, "Do not worry about anything. Do not try to, don't panic." Then by the end of the month, I had more that I was thought I was gonna have to pay my bills. It go on, But something's been happening in my life, And I feel that I need to take control. You know what I mean? I feel that I need to do something, but in the reality, I don't need to do anything. They ask me, "Don't do anything. Don't do anything." But as a human, I know I need to do something, man. What are you talking about? It's like,
I hear you.
if you are driving, you look, your gas, get inside the car shoulder. your tank is almost empty. Keep driving. No, don't worry about it. So what do you mean don't worry about it? I mean, so my car is gonna stop. No, keep walking. No, don't go to this gas station here. Go. No, I need to stop this one here to put gas. No, no, no. Keep driving. Keep driving. Go to another gas station. And then you listen the guys. You go to another gas station. When you stop, you get off the car. Someone approach you say, "Can I pay for fuel up your tank?" And then say, "Yes, thank you." No,
That's
right? It
wonderful.
just no. But you say, "No, I'm going to stop it here." No, why you ask me to keep it driving? So my car is going to stop. No, you go to another gas station. And then when you got there, you get off, someone offered to pay now for that. I do believe, my friend, because I do so many things for people. I don't tell anyone. I don't post on social media the things that I'm doing for people out there when I'm go someplace, but just to show something of how when the people sometimes let go control. One time I went to the store. I don't remember where, Publix or whatever, one of those stores, and was someone in front of me, you know what I mean? I even soon I got there and behind her, I felt a very strong guy to pay for her grocery, right? To pay for whatever she has there, to pay. And so then she started putting all the stuff there. I approached her, excuse me, can I pay for you? It's just, she looked at me even before she say anything. I saw tears start coming down, her eyes. And then she said, "Oh, my prayer." Oh no, what she said? She said, "Oh my God, I was praying for." I think she said something. I was praying for God to help me. You know what I mean? To have the money to buy the things that I need. You know what I mean? So, but she was going through some financial, whatever it is. But I wanna ask, to her, like, she look at me even before she said anything, was tear in her eyes. And I mean, so my answer was prayed. You know what I mean? She so was grateful, thankful. But for some reason, you know what I mean, she. Oh, no, no. Okay, now I remember now. Oh my God, I almost forgot this. Now I remember now. She she received the guidance. She didn't have the money to pay for everything she put inside her cart, right? But she received the guidance to buy all those things now. But said, "I don't have the money." And she said, the voice, you know what I mean, was God that ever told her, "No, put all the things that you need, go to the cash register." And then she did that. When I got behind her, I received the guidance to pay for her. And then
That's
when I asked
powerful.
her to pay, she looked at me, so tears are coming down. Now they are showing me the story here because I forgot about the things. And she said, "Oh my God, and then it is, do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes when they ask us to do something, because we pray for it, right? You pray for something. You are praying for something. You are asking for something. And then they're going to say, "Okay, do this." I say, "No, I don't want to do it." So you will live with $10 a week. No, say, "Oh,
I'm telling you, I don't really know of anyone that could manage, living the way that I've, because my life has been a roller coaster, from the onset. Feast or famine, feast or famine. So for me, this is nothing. I've never been happier than I've been like the last 2 years. I've been like everything's just flowing in a beautiful way. So it goes back to that, when we let go. You were talking about letting go, and I've been they've been working with me a lot on this the last few days about something that I have to let go of, and then you brought it up. So I have a feeling that someone that is listening to this broadcast
yeah,
needs this message. You got to let go, because when we
yeah,
let go of the need to control and we just let God, or we let the cosmos, then then the flow can happen. But when we try to control everything, then we impede the flow.
yeah,
So
yeah.
sometimes we just gotta let go, and let and not, and that includes letting go of the worry. Let go of the worry, and replace that with expectation and anticipation. And so if the cosmos doesn't respond exactly the way we want, or as immediately the way we want, it doesn't mean that they won't. And we just have to, like, be open, let it flow, and appreciate when and how and as it flows, And the more you do that, the more that flow is just going to flow effortlessly. And that's where I'm at right now. This is what I've achieved after all these years because I'm in my mid 50s, okay? So I'm at this place now where I make it happen. Every once in a while I manifest, something else and and I manifest this and I manifest that and I don't have a single worry in the world. And life right now is I'm thriving. It's not about the circumstance around you. It's about state of trust. Again, the more you trust, the higher your trust access is. The higher your trust access, the less you worry about things that are happening, like the little things, like how you're going to eat, where you're going to live, things like that. The less you get caught up in that because that flow is constant. The only thing that cuts that flow off is us. Bad beliefs, worry, judgment. Okay, we're the only ones that cut the flow off. The flow is constant. It's always there. Okay, so the higher you trust, the higher you understand that, and the higher they bring you the responses that you need. So yeah, it's that letting go. I had a friend for probably the last decade. Not a close friend, probably more like I would say more like an acquaintance or a higher level acquaintance. And this person, every time they would bring this person back in my life, this person would disappoint me. Something violate my trust, and I would look past that because I would see the higher light in this person, and I would see the things that are right and the good qualities and the things that brought us together in the first place, and I would disregard that. But then a person would come back in my life and it would be the same thing, a violation of my trust. And then I finally, a few days ago, again, a violation of my trust. And I realized this is actually like a spiritual assault or a version of a spiritual crime when you keep giving someone high level trust and they keep violating it. And the cosmos was saying, my angel was saying, just let it go. And when we say let it go, we don't just mean let go of the infraction. We mean let go of the person. Let go of the person too, because you've already done everything that you can do. You know, you've already you've already forgave and forgot several times. You've already worked on yourself so that those infractions didn't hurt you, and I've readjusted myself every time. You've done everything that you can do. So now we want you to take letting go to another level and just let this person go. And so I finally let this person go. And now I'm in a place where I'm comfortable with that and I'm good with that because I know that I did everything that I could on my part to keep the union together going. But it was that letting go. It was in the last few days I start thinking of this person again and they come back, let it go. Let
Yeah,
go and let God, you know?
yeah, yeah,
So
no, yeah, yeah. And there's
you brought
something.
it up again.
And that's something that like I said, they've been, even yesterday they was talking to me about some things as well, because I since I separated, and I went to divorce with my son's mother, it's been 6 years. I haven't dated anyone or do anything. I'm single all these years. But sometimes I talk to someone, I feel something. But yesterday, I'm always talking to spiritual, even when I'm outside, sometimes doing something, whatever, at the gym, whatever. I'm always talking. I don't care what anybody look at me, think I'm crazy anyway. So, but they talk to me. So they said, just let it go. Do not no. They said, disconnect yourself for the need, to have. Doesn't matter what, or someone or anything. Disconnect yourself from the need to have. To have. I need to have whatever it is. Disconnect yourself for the things that you need to have. I said, okay, so it just now, if they talk to me, you gotta know just, if I don't talk to many people, I have some few people here that sometimes I have a conversation, say, you gotta avoid them because it's not that you need to judge them or discriminate them, but some people, they can, they cannot understand you, and some people, they are not connected to me with the frequency that you are connected. It feels like now you are wasting your time now. So just let it go. If you want to talk to someone, if you feel I don't want to talk to us. We always here to listen to you, but avoid humans. I don't say all the healings, the conversation we are having here today is a blessing. There I can say that it's a blessing for me. I'm grateful, thankful that we are having this conversation. But some people sometimes I feel like I'm forced them to talk to me sometimes. That's the type of people that say, just let it go. You don't need this. You don't need this type
Right.
of people in your life. But they taught me, let it go, this need that you need to have something. I mean, in general, I mean, whatever in your life can be relationship, it can money or whatever it is, let it go, this need that you need to have those things. This must be the reason why that you're going through these things, and it must be the reason why you start talk about to let it go. Because yeah, maybe you need to let it go this person because if you see yourself, if you look yourself, in a mirror, you're going to see, someone is not Tina. Is gonna be someone so beautiful, someone so special. Yeah, this person came into your life, I mean, for a reason. This person is teaching you something like my son's mother, but we need to let it go because it's something else is going to come into our life, but they cannot come until we let it go. And then I'm not talking about this relationship. Sometimes we let go one person, if that person may interfere, not just I'm not talking about this relationship, that person may interfere in other areas in our lives as well. Oh, this is beautiful. They're showing me this here. Sometimes we are connect someone, we have the feelings, we love someone, we go back forth, but then we hear, let it go, let it go. Once again, because that process not just interfere in our lives, no, in a love way, but that process interferes in our lives, in so many other areas as well, That's like, before I used to share some things with my son's mother. She's sleeping right now. That's how I can. She is very gifted, but she's sleeping right now. They said, do not talk with her about anything else that you're going to do, or any dreams or anything that you are working. Do not talk to her. She's not in a place to help you or to listen to you, to encourage you, to support you, to do anything. She's sleeping. Talk with the eyes. Do you want to talk to someone? Talk with the eyes. We are going to listen to you. We are going to help you, but avoid, So we need to avoid some people. You need to avoid to tell them anything, about our lives. So this is real, my friend.
Yes.
Eh, This is
Very,
real,
yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yeah, learning. Yeah, it's a hard lesson um because we want to trust, we're those that are in the higher light and the higher love frequencies. We trust because we know that we can trust our source, and we've learned to let go and trust our source. And then sometimes we forget that when we come back down here to the earth levels, that we can't be that way with everyone because not everyone is at that same plateau as us. And when we forget, it can hurt because we're still human. We're not over there. We're still operating on this planet. So yeah. Um
Yeah, well, it's beautiful. But listen, I think you had a great time here today, and I'm gonna say that. Very grateful, thankful that you took the time to come here to talk. You talking about so many beautiful things, my friend. You know what I mean? So, me personal, I learned it so much. Listening to you today, and I know that university is gonna guide the people. They need to listen to this conversation as well. But before I let you go, I want to ask if you would like to share, how your personal information, how people can find, maybe Instagram or your website.
okay, so I right now I'm mainly on Circle of I'm operating the Circle of Tampa Bay on Facebook. I have the group where different practitioners throughout the Tampa Bay region, which includes the sister communities of Citrus County, Hernando County, Hillsborough, Pasco, Pinellas, Manatee, and Sarasota counties, where they share their offerings, they share their events, they share their messages. I have that group. I also have my personal page where I periodically will provide a direct message from my Brock channel. And I have the telephone number 727-417-2578, which I can be reached via text only. And then I have the email tinat333 at tutanota.com. Again, that's Tina T333 at tutanota.com. And I put on the chat, I believe probably the reviewers can look at our chat on this. I put my card up there that shows my different offerings if anyone wants to take a look at that. The main thing I specialize in would be the intuitive writing, automatic writing, scribing. I work with the bioenergy field. I'm a high level when it comes to shifting what's happening at your molecular levels and your etheric field. And I'm also intricately involved with the ETs and the robotic and those sentiences and anti-human trafficking, specifically what's occurring, the shift that's occurring in the Tampa Bay region. Those would be the main things that I specialize in. But I have it all listed on that card. If anyone is not able to see that, please feel free to reach me, Tina Tricoche, Facebook Messenger. You can also reach me on Messenger. And Nando, you're a blessing. I don't know if you remember, but we crossed paths many years ago. You gave me a massage, and I gave you a healing session.
Yeah, the office that I used to have on Largo, yeah, 66,
Yes,
yes.
yes, and so much has changed since then. I know that you've had a child, but you were a blessing then. You were a blessing today. Your light is
Thank you,
very
my friend.
powerful, and thank you for honoring me with giving me this opportunity to chat with you.
Thank you, my friend. I feel very honored as well, my friend. Very grateful. Thank you that you took, this time to be here, close to 2 hours talking. But once again, my friend, all the things that you said today, for me, everything resonates with me. But what I love about you, it is how open you are and how no judgmental you are as well. You
Thank
just
you.
spoke. It's not about you spoke your truth. You spoke what you are. This is so beautiful. You know what I mean? When you talk, about who you are without judgment, without to make anyone's believe, your message, it goes, everywhere. The energy that you have is so beautiful. You know, whoever is going to listen to this conversation is going to be touched on me some way, somehow. Even sometimes, they can disconnect from the words, but they will feel the energy that you are radiated the radiated the entire time now during the conversation. If for that, I say thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sweetheart. God bless you, and I'll be seeing you online.
Okay, sweet. You have a blessed day as well. Thanks so much again, sweetie.
Bye bye.
Goodbye. Thanks so much, everyone, to take the time to listen to this conversation. Feel free to make any comments below. And if you know anyone to need to listen to this conversation, my friend, please share this video to them. I bless everyone with infinite abundance, and I'm sending lots of light, love, healing energy for everyone. I love you all. Thank you for love. Namaste. Bye bye.